The Nacogdoches Dragons are in practically uncharted territory. For only the third time since 1965, NAC reached the playoffs. To truly appreciate this turnaround, one must meet Bobby Reyes, who has been coaching since 1973.
This has been a great year for Nacogdoches High School, a great year for Nacogdoches football, and really it's been a great year for our town.
Ironically enough, Bobby was an assistant coach at Nacogdoches with former Houston Cougar head coach John Jenkins from 1974 to 76 and again from 81 to 90.
I'm an offensive guy. You know, I used to be a defensive coordinator and I got away from the dark side. I've been running the spread since 94. John Jenkins, when he got to Houston and did the run and shoot stuff, I went down there and spent a week with him and picked up a bunch of stuff, and I started running it right then.
Bobby retired after the 2009 football season with health issues in the spring of 2010 and thought coaching football was in the rearview mirror.
I'd had a colonoscopy and they found a protein mass in my colon, and so I had to have extensive blood work and I had a bunch of tests done, and my wife and I discussed it, and she was ready for me to retire, and it scared us.
You know, I knew he was a strong man and he was going to do things that he needed to do to get his health better. You know, it was tough, but I knew he'd battle through it. I knew he wasn't done coaching.
Bobby Reyes watched from the sidelines as his son James was an assistant coach at Nacogdoches who had suffered through a difficult season in 2010. James went on to Flower Mound and coach receivers, but in 2012, Bobby was hired to lead the Dragons as their head coach, and one of his first decisions was to hire his son James as offensive coordinator at Nacogdoches.
My son he's a coach. When he was younger, I tried talking him out of it, and he made a good decision because he's a good coach and he's a good man. You know, it's tough to watch any of your children, you know, go through tough times, but we do that every day coaching because all these kids are our kids.
Despite going winless the year before, 2013 was magical for Bobby, James, and the entire Nacogdoches community. No question, beating Lufkin 28-24 would be the turning point of the season.
I said, hey, you know, you got a chance to have a defining moment, you know, in your life. And I said, this is our night to have that chance. Shoot, we went out there and did it. Turned our program around is what it did. Last year, I don't think we expected to beat anybody. Every time we went out, we were afraid we were going to get beat. You know, and this year, every time we've gone out, we've expected to win, and that's a huge difference.
Amazingly enough, this isn't the first time Coach Reyes has had an 0-10 team produce a 7-3 season the following year. He did it over at Richardson Pierce in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and now he's done it right here in Nacogdoches.
Before we came here to Nacogdoches, everybody said you can't win there. I've always felt like you can win here. You know, the kids here are good kids. People don't give them enough credit.
Attitude and commitment. Every day people been coming out to practice, and last year we had a tough time getting people out here to practice. People want to go home and play games instead of come out here and do the real thing and put in the work.
We gave them a plan, and the kids have bought into the plan, and they've worked at it.
So what is the plan, you ask?
Well, the plan is to be a good citizen. I mean, to do things right in the community, do things right in the classroom, not get your name in the paper for the wrong reason, be a good person, you know, and work hard. And that's the one thing about our kids this year. Our kids play hard every ball game. I mean, when we step out on the field, that's the one thing I never worry about.
Bobby says you can win with all kinds of kids. Average players can become good, and good players can become great if you just believe in them.
You can win. You know, you can win with good kids just as easy as you can with kids that cause problems.
He's a father figure to the ones that's like down and like come to practice all depressed and stuff. He's that father figure that most guys look for.
It's been a completely different change. We feel like we can win now, and we're not afraid to fight.
This is only the third time in 43 years that Nacogdoches has won 7 games. I mean, that's just crazy because there's talent here.
To finally come out here my senior year to have a winning season, I couldn't have asked for anything better. Finally, we're all fighting for each other, and we all take ownership of what we do, and it's just made this year so much better than every other year.
You've had your brains beat out for years, and people have just abused you verbally on the chat lines and in the newspaper and the radio and the TV. And then, you know, there's nothing wrong with these kids. They're good kids. But nobody's ever just really given them credit for what they're capable of doing.
Bobby Reyes is a Chevy hometown hero because he holds players, coaches, and himself accountable. The turnaround at Nacogdoches ended with a playoff loss and a 7-4 final record, but the lessons learned for these players and coaches will last a lifetime. In Nacogdoches, I'm Jeff Power.